Welcome to the video, everyone. I'm going to be going over some of my thoughts on sniping in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. First off, I want to establish my opinion on which of the sniper rifles I consider the best. This is not a guide, however, there are going to be a little bit of tips in here that I will clarify later and also elaborate on later. The DSR-50, which is a 50 caliber sniper rifle using bolt action, is easily the best one to use as far as open maps, big maps go, which are few and far between in this game. As in recent Call of Duties, the maps tend to be a cluster. Additionally, Call of Duty seems to be moving more towards the, rather than a flat or flat-ish map having 1 to 2 levels, as far as the vertical horizon goes, there tends to be in this game, specifically, there's anywhere from 3 to 4 stories to worry about at any given time. A direct result being, there is less room for error in this game. If you miss a shot, especially with the one sniper rifle in the DSR-50 being the most reliable for one-shot kills, however, it being a bolt-action sniper rifle, if you miss a shot, you're most likely going to die. The assault rifles in this game, in addition to the submachine guns, are extremely accurate. The recoil is very, very easy to manage, especially whenever you slap on a foregrip on anything. Additionally, there's nearly zero real cover in this game. You may feel like, I've got 4 inches of plate steel sitting in front of me, so I should be good. No. A bullet, specifically something like a 9mm pop shot BB gun, will shoot through it and kill you. That really changes how you can play, or how you need to play. For example, you're setting up a shot, there's somebody 50 meters away from you with an assault rifle, for example, an M27. Bam, you take the shot, but right when you take the shot, they flinch a little bit, and you barely miss because, say, you're going for a headshot or something like that. So, in a normal situation as a sniper, you think, okay, well, cool, I've got to just drop down real quick, get behind cover. Well, if that person just spams at the general ledge you were just at, if you're, say, on a ledge, unless you jump up and risk, jumping up and getting hit again, and you can't crawl away fast enough, you are most likely going to die. Snipers, in general, have really not received much of a nerf or a nerf at all in this game, because it's not as hard to snipe in this game as it was in Black Ops 1. However, it seems like everything else got beefed up. So kind of to backtrack a little bit, and considering that everything else kind of got beefed up, in my opinion it did. It may have not, it may just have that feel, but this is my thoughts on the matter. You have a little bit of you may have the same difficulty sniping in this game that you did in Black Ops 1 if you have had difficulty, which a lot of people did, because whenever the game came out within the first couple of weeks, people claimed that it was near impossible, and that was because of simple little things like, because by that point in time, the whole quick scoping fad, it really had come in hard, so people were used to zooming in and shooting, rather it being a true quick scope, as people calling it, or anything else you want to call it, just a small bit of a hard scope. So in the Black Ops 1, you had to basically, I think they may have patched it later on, you had to hold your breath and get it to where your crosshairs were dead still, and pull the trigger for your round to hit exactly where you're pointing. It was not the laser beam that it was in previous Call of Duties. However, there was no physics involved in that other than, it reduced the area. So you went from having, the longer you held your breath, the smaller the spread was. In this game, that is not the case. You can just pull out and shoot, bam, dead. That's how it works in this game. So in this we have the MW3 feel with the sniper rifles. However, the reason I say it's not as easy is because there's certain things to where you don't zoom in quicker. You can't bring up your sniper rifle quicker unless you're using dexterity, which makes it after you're sprinting. That's the key part of it. After you're sprinting, or during the middle of the sprint, you bring your weapon up. It doesn't actually increase. Somebody may find out later that it has an unintentional thing, the description's wrong, but as of right now, from what I've noticed, it does not make you zoom in faster whenever you're stationary sniping. On to other things, specifically attachments. So the attachments you can use are the sniper scope, which it comes standard except for I believe the last one. Suppressor, ballistic CPU, variable zoom, fast mag, full metal jacket, ACOG sight, extended clip laser sight, and dual band scope. The key ones being the suppressor. I advise do not use that. Just don't use it. I got so many hit markers dead in the chest, and unless you're a really good shot and you can get headshots every time, don't use it. The ballistic CPU I feel is just like stability in MW3. It's amazing, must have. Variable zoom, man. I feel like there's not enough zoom on it to make a difference. And also, whenever you're not all the way, whenever you're not at the full magnification, you're at the shorter one, you get that feel to where it's more like looking through a red dot scope. Not something I want out of a sniper rifle. Full metal jacket, since everything in this game you can shoot through almost to the point to where it's like a mountain. Full metal jacket really does make a difference when it comes to sniping. The extended clip, I find no use with that when it comes to a bolt action sniper rifle. The ACOG, not going to use it. It's pretty cool. It works. The game shows you in the UI that it adds range and other things onto your stats of the weapon system. I'm not convinced of that. Like I said, somebody will get out there and they'll test it. And if somebody's got on PC and brought up the stats through some libraries or something like that. Laser sight, just like using steady aim and any other games, pointless in my opinion, unless you're trying to quick scope, which like I said, is very possible in this game. Still a lot of folks doing it. Sorry if you heard me burp. Dual band scope, that's pretty cool. That's what I call my predator vision. So it is night vision in addition to thermal. So it's got a little, even though you got a couple extra, say an interlaced thermal vision, blah, 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 blah. It's basically just a thermal scope. Pretty cool. It does have a different look to it, which I think is good, especially when you're updating kind of the UI, or not really UI. I'm sorry, I'm talking in programmer mode right now. When we were talking about just general graphics, things looking different and fresh. I do like that. I use it, but it is to the point to where it's not like in, I would say, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, to where it made things really easy. People were just stood out like crazy, and even if they weren't, if they were running like cold-blooded, to where you couldn't see them, they were still pretty easy to spot. I have noticed in this game when people are not running. When people are running cold-blooded, they are kind of hard to spot. So if you're staring down your scope waiting for somebody to come up and make a terrible effort in trying to hit that guy like I did, they're kind of hard to see. In my opinion, which is really a good thing, you don't want a specific attachment to be too overpowered or way over the rest. However, some of them do feel to be just vanity attachments, kind of like a gun that's in the game for no damn reason other than it's a gun that everybody knows from movies. The new kind of perk system or class loadout, however you talk, where it's basically add things up to 10, is really great, and it opens up to where as a sniper you can do different things. If you want to, basically, if you still want to snipe, yet you want to be able to play the objective, to the point to where you're really actually helping as much as you can, to where like at the beginning of the game you want to run in, balls out, and try to get B and Dom. You have the option of running overkill, but not sacrificing some things like not being able to have the attachments you want. I think just by dropping, say, a perk that you really don't need as a sniper, certain things like that. But on top of that, you can camp your balls off if you want to, because you can have 2 claymores or 2 bouncing betties. However, I've noticed the bouncing betties are damn near useless unless you pair them with shock sticks, and I'm not gonna use up 2 extra slots in my class loadout for those shock sticks. Just use claymores. They work awesome. And people hate claymores, but I'm a sniper and I love the hell out of them. Another thing about your basic class setup, I have noticed, which is really disappointing, the toughness perk, which is I believe the 2nd tier perk, it's supposed to make you flinch less if you get shot, kind of like right there. And I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I was using it in this game. I can't remember. But it does not do its job, you know. So don't use it whenever you're sniping, because you get pinged just one time, you're kind of screwed. The last thing is I noticed after missing lots of shots that you need to put your sensitivity way up there when you're sniping, because sensitivity is not high in this game. It's actually fairly low in comparison to the other ones. Alright guys, please put some good comments down there in regards to sniping in Black Ops 2. Subscribe if you're a sniper, and remember, trigger squeeze, not trigger slap.